Hello everyone, welcome to my... No, that's not my voice. Okay, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming, I guess. Okay, be warned, this review contains spoilers of Avengers Endgame. So, Avengers Endgame is out for almost 2 weeks, and I saw it last Sunday. Was it good? Well, yeah, it was pretty fucking terrible. No, I'm joking. It was pretty good. So you can go and remove your dislike, because the title's just pure for clickbait, of course, as you can realize now, but I need to... So, okay, but let's actually talk about the movie. So, I think this movie is actually a mixed bag overall. I liked a lot of stuff, and I hated some stuff. So let's just immediately talk about Thanos. So, in the beginning of the movie, they find Thanos, go to his farm to turn everything back to normal. In which I mean, undo everything that Thanos did in Infinity War. Then they realize that Thanos destroyed the stones. Well, he destroyed them by using the stones, so everything he did cannot be undone. After that, Thor kills Thanos and they leave. As you know, they use time travel in this movie. In the end battle, Thanos from 2014, from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, comes to 2023, the present day. And now we come to the first problem that I have with Thanos. Thanos from 2014 has no history with any of our heroes, and that makes the connection between the heroes and Thanos a lot less interesting. Now we have an underdeveloped villain. A perfect example of this is when Scarlet Witch comes to fight Thanos and says, "You took everything from me," and Thanos replies, "I don't even know you," which he obviously doesn't because he's from 2014, so he hasn't basically met any Avenger yet. And that simply makes it a lot less interesting than it could have been. Thanos is a bit more generic than he used to be, which just kind of sucks, in my opinion anyway. And this here isn't the only problem about Thanos. After he finds out that the Avengers use time travel to turn everything back, he immediately changes his plan from wiping out half the universe to destroying the world and create a new universe. What sucks is that here, Thanos somehow changes his goal, which makes no sense for a villain who believed so strongly in his previous plan. Why not just plan to kill the Avengers and kill half the universe anyways? So yeah, they ruined Thanos in this movie. Now let's talk about Thor. So after the 5-year time jump, Thor is fat and drinks a lot because of his failure and loss. He's a depressed alcoholic. When Hulk tries to get him back, we see that his friends Korg and Meek are playing Fortnite. I think this scene was really fucking hilarious. So Korg is playing Fortnite and gets offended by a kid who has offended him before. So Korg tells that to Thor, and then you see the camera move towards Thor, and Thor says, "A noob master." He really said that as if it was a huge villain, and I really fucking died laughing at that. That was a really good joke in my opinion. I really liked it. I mean, some people didn't even like Thor that much in this movie. Some people didn't even like any joke he made. My eyes literally teared up because of that joke. Anyway, Thor is fat for the entire movie and he makes a lot of jokes. A lot of people say that they ruined Thor, and I can understand that. Although I don't really think that they ruined him entirely. Who he is in Endgame makes sense because of his failure and loss. I think that the 5-year time jump was a good choice, by the way, as we can see what sort of impact Thanos had on the world and how it affects the Avengers. This is way better than if they would have fixed it in like a month after Infinity War. This is a lot more realistic and it feels more permanent this way. Now let's talk about the time travel. And yeah, you can go and nitpick the crap out of this movie with the time travel, but I would be here all day if I did. Don't think about the time travel because your brain will fucking explode. Which my brain did, by the way, but... So the time travel is very entertaining and enjoyable. We finally realized that Ant-Man matters more than everyone thought. Without Ant-Man we wouldn't have the time travel at all, so Ant-Man is in the quantum realm, which we saw in the last Ant-Man movie. I'm not sure if you remember that, but that was like the only good scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Ant-Man has been in the quantum realm for 5 years, and conveniently a rat looking for food accidentally presses or flips a switch, I don't remember, and Ant-Man, or as we know him, Scott Lang, gets out. Scott finds out that people vanish at some sort of graveyard where you have stones, not infinity stones, where all the names of the vanished people are on. Scott finds his own name on the stone and goes to his daughter's house. He rings the bell and his daughter opens the door and she can't believe that her father is still alive. I thought this was a really great and beautiful little moment. But after that we find out that Scott only spent 5 hours instead of 5 years in the quantum realm, as time worked differently in the quantum realm. So his mom was like 35 hours in that fucking quantum realm. Scott figures that they can use the quantum realm to time travel and show Tony, and eventually Tony finds out how to time travel and they go on the journey to retrieve all the Infinity Stones and get everyone back. Then we get a real fun and entertaining journey and we go back to some events of the previous Marvel movies. Cap, Iron Man, Hulk and Ant-Man go to 2012 to the first Avengers film and try to get the Tesseract, the Space Stone. Cap gets the case in the test... Cap gets the case with the Tesseract in it and tries to take it with him, and when he gets in the elevator, the strike team from Captain America the Winter Soldier is in the elevator. From what we know now are actually Hydra agents instead of SHIELD agents. The lead of the team, this guy, says that Cap can't take it with him, in which Cap says it's okay, and then he goes to the guy's ear and says Hail Hydra. I thought this was a really clever joke. They also joke around on how lame Captain America's suit was back in the first Avengers movie with the America's ass joke, which I thought was great. The scene with Thor and Asgard is more memorable than the entire movie Thor the Dark World. It was funny when Jane Foster got off the couch and Rocket appeared behind it with some sort of dildo to take the reality stone out of her. The scene where Rhodey and Nebula go to the first scene after the intro in Guardians of the Galaxy was funny to see. When you heard Quill sing without hearing the music as an audience, I thought that was hilarious. When they get the Power Stone, only Rhodey goes back with the Power Stone, and Nebula somehow can't go back because she's connected with 2014's Nebula for some reason. The scene on Vormir where Hawkeye and Black Widow were fighting to sacrifice themselves for the Soul Stone was very intense and good. None of them wanted to live with the guilt of leaving the other behind. Too bad though that none of Clint or Natasha could recognize Red Skull. I mean, they are S.H.I.E.L.D., so shouldn't they know the history of Hydra? Well, whatever. The death of Black Widow made sense and I thought she had an honorable death. Seeing the CGI Hulk Mark Ruffalo mourn took it a bit away for me as it looked a bit silly at times. Overall, I didn't like what they did with the Hulk anyway. Well, it's just my opinion. Some people actually did like it. So when they have all the Infinity Stones, the Avengers decide to do the snap at the Avengers facility. So everyone can return and Hulk ends up doing it to bring everyone back. After the snap, 2014's Thanos comes through the quantum tunnel with a ship and blows the entire Avengers facility to hell, and we get to the ending battle. Thor with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, because he borrowed Mjolnir from the past, Iron Man and Captain America go and fight Thanos in an epic battle. So Iron Man and Captain America get immediately beaten to the side, and Thor fights Thanos on his own. Quickly, Thor gets his ass kicked and disarmed from his weapons and calls his Stormbreaker back to him, and Thanos somehow catches his Stormbreaker. Ah yeah, I guess the Mjolnir rule doesn't count with the Stormbreaker. Everyone can probably lift it. So Thanos catches Stormbreaker and nearly kills Thor, and at that moment you see the Mjolnir being picked up without knowing who picks it up. And at that moment, obviously everyone knew it was Cap. So Captain America throws the Mjolnir against Thanos and saves Thor. Then we get this awesome battle with Captain America against Thanos with the Mjolnir and his shield. Personally, I thought this moment was very satisfying. Eventually Thanos gets pissed after having received a few combos from Captain America and gets mad and tries to kill Captain America. He hits Captain America with his badass blade and destroys his shield with it. I guess vibranium wasn't indestructible after all. After that, Captain America is almost beaten down and he gets up and tries to go and fight everyone on his own, and then Sam calls in and says, "On your left," which is a great reference back to Captain America the Winter Soldier, which is a great film by the way. So then all the Avengers that died in Infinity War come back through the Doctor Strange portals, and that scene is amazing. I love it. It's so great. You know, you really feel almost a bit lost, and then everyone comes and it's awesome. It's phenomenal. That was so satisfying. That was like, yeah, you know, you could almost scream in this theater, but of course, social anxiety, so no, I won't do it. So when the Avengers return, we get a huge over-the-top battle sequence. And yes, it feels a bit claustrophobic, but hey, we got our superhero battle, so I'm not gonna complain about that. Also, I think a great scene was when Peter comes to Tony and just says a lot of shit to him, you know, how it happened and how he woke up and blah blah blah. And Tony just doesn't answer to it and just goes and hugs him. I think that is a really good and emotional scene that I really liked a lot. Of course, everyone knew Tony would die in this movie, and he did. Eventually, there's a moment where Thanos has all the stones on a gauntlet, and Tony tries to rip the gauntlet off Thanos' arm, and he fails as Thanos punches Tony away. And then Thanos says, "I am inevitable," and snaps his fingers. Then nothing happens, and we see that Tony has the stones and says, "And I am Iron Man," and he snaps his fingers, and that was so satisfying. I really thought that was a great way to end this character. That was just perfect. It's just phenomenal. I loved the way they treated Iron Man in this movie. And after the snap, Thanos and his goons dust away. And I was kind of disappointed that Thanos didn't really say anything when Tony snapped and just looked disappointed instead. I wish he just said something, you know, like, "Oh, I underestimated the humans, blah blah blah," you know, it would have been really funny. That would have been nice to see, but yeah, it didn't happen. I mean, I really liked when he said, "I respect you, Stark." You know, that was really great. Tony, of course, dies, and Tom Holland's performance when Tony dies was really phenomenal. Man, that was really great. I really felt something there. It really made the scene way better than it already was. It made it more emotional than it was. I personally almost cried when Tony died, as he was my favorite MCU character. What I also really liked was the Love You 3000, and I think everyone will agree on me that that was really good. I see that a lot of people really like that, as they use it a lot in comments and so on, and I think the characterization of Tony was overall really well done. It was a very emotional moment when Tony died. I think it was great how Pepper said, "Tony, you can rest now." I think that was really good. That was really great. She respected his choice and wasn't mad about it. Also, I was glad that they didn't just kill off Steve Rogers, but actually gave him a satisfying end. I like how Cap went back in time to return the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir to the right place and time, and how Cap was sitting on that bench as an old man, where you realize that Steve has been living an entire life and he was happy and fulfilled. Anthony Mackie's performance was really good as well when he talked with older Cap. Cap really deserved that life after everything he did, and I wouldn't think too much about how it would alter the past and so on. Seeing Cap dancing with Peggy on the same song you heard in Captain America the Winter Soldier when Nick Fury was in Cap's apartment was really satisfying and a great note to end the character on. I'm also really glad that Thor went with the Guardians of the Galaxy, as there won't be a Thor 4. Thor 4, as Marvel only makes 3 standalone movies for each and every character. And for everyone who thinks Thor is ruined, I think he will be back on track in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie nevertheless. Despite its flaws, yeah, there were some flaws here and there, but I think it's fine. I'll give this movie a 9 out of 10. Thanks a lot for watching my review. After Flash Season 5 I will make a video on how bad it was. Jesus Christ, Flash Season 5 is horrible, you know? Anyway, if anyone of you even watches The Flash, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you already tuned out or never even watched it. Well, anyway, I'll see you then. Bye, thanks for watching.